So, hello and welcome to the Ghost Hunting TV talk show where we are currently live. My name is Alicia and I'm the founder of Paranormal magazine, also Britain YouTube and Project Reveal Paranormal Investigation website.
My name is Chris Beech. I am a student of parapsychology at the School of Parapsychology. And I'm also an investigator for Norfolk Ghost Hunters in East Anglia in the UK.
We are obviously three girls in the dark. My name is Emily. I'm Gina. And I'm Christine. And we basically do exactly what our name says. We sit in the dark, the three of us.
Yeah, I'd echo what you're saying. It's more that we don't acknowledge the way in which that EVP has been captured and presented as evidence for paranormal.
You were talking about ethics. Now let me just show this to people. This makes me absolutely sick.
Thank you for having me on, by the way.
No problem.
So my name is Sophia Temporelli. I'm 16 years old. I've been a radio host since I was 12 years old on liveparanormal.com. My show is called The Ghost Host, and I've been in the paranormal field since I was 8 years old.
I call myself para-confused. I tend to, when I came into the field, I thought I had my belief system, solid.
I think Lee, I've always had an interest in it, to be honest, ever since I was a child. And growing up in this island, this fair green island in Ireland, certainly there are plenty of things which go bump in the night. I think it is very, very important to understand, if you are taking a bit further, understand what it is. Personally, I'm a great believer in investigation equipment that we have.
Gina over here is kind of like a borderline. She's borderline, so I like to say he's a flapping screen door. Sometimes things get in, sometimes things get out, sometimes nothing.
Please bear in mind that those facts, if you're investigating it, you think you're having a paranormal experience, we think, am I on medication? What have I drank? What have I eaten? Just as a basic, really.
And that in itself, that's my take on possibly why we see, along with the popularization, of course, of the paranormal TV shows, which is in the decline, which is in the sharp decline, I might add.
If there is any spirits here with us right now, who can use the spirit box to communicate with us, can you try and say the guy's name who is hosting this show? Can you try and say his name? Can you try and say Lee? Lee. There you go. Did you hear that? Hello and welcome. We are currently live on Ghosts of Britain YouTube channel, projectreveal.com, paranormalmagazine.com, paranormal database. We are also streaming from Get Scared TV and networks, broadband TV and Viso. And with me I have co-host.
Hello, it's Chris again, Chris Beech, student at the School of Parapsychology. I'm here again today, and I'm also investigating for Norfolk Ghost Hunters, don't forget that.
And with us on the show we have the voice of radio, Chris V. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell people a bit about what you're about?
Well, sure. My name is Chris V, and I have a radio show on YouTube every Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, that is. And, it's all different things, not just paranormal. So I used to do a lot of paranormal stuff with it, but now I just do a combination. And, I do interviews with people and, just things like that. And different topics, I guess, of the day or the week or the month, whatever. And I'm really into the paranormal, though. So I love it. I've been into it for a long time. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Just before the show, you were just talking about some news that we need to get off our chests. So I just want to do this now. It's the perfect time. It's the start of the show. Chris, Beechy, why did you send me that video?
Hello. Well, I was on Facebook earlier and I was scrolling away through the phone in the morning as you do. I was just really bored. I thought, well, I'm on my own. Let's have a flick through the old phone. Went on Facebook and the Mirror, being the font of all knowledge that it is, had something to do with the paranormal on it. And it was an article somewhere in the States. I'm not sure if it's Pennsylvania. I think it might be. There's a guy there who claims that he's too scared to go back into his home because his daughter was playing with his phone on her own in the room, and she caught bed covers moving. This is it on your screen now, Lee. It's this article where a kid is filming with her dad's phone. The covers are moving, and apparently there's like a dark figure at the end of the bed. I think that's it in a nutshell, to be honest. I kind of looked at it. Looked at the clip and kind of didn't know what I was looking at first. But
when you sent me the actual YouTube link to start with, I was like, I don't see nothing. And then you sent me the article, and then I was like, seriously, is this in the papers? Is this what they've got time to publish? Is this makes the field look like a complete joke, and it so winds me up. And let's just read into this a sec, right? The terrifying clip also features the sound of a supposed ghost voice as it sings along with the 4-year-old, then tells her,
the best bit,
"You're
isn't it?
so funny." I can't believe I'm reading this. I really can't believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show the video. Like, we don't know if it is genuine or not. It's just the thing is with papers, and not just the Mirror. I'm talking about every paper out there. If you submit a story to them, they will probably change it to get a better viewer reaction. So I am not blaming the people who filmed this video at all. I am totally not. Would you say the same thing or not?
Well, I think looking at it, it boasts kind of the best piece of evidence that you're ever going to capture, ever going to witness in your life. This is what, it is to basically get people to click on this article. It's not the first time that the Mirror has done anything to do with paranormal, because they're doing it more and more often. In fact, Norfolk Ghost Hunters, the group that I'm part of, one of our customers actually put a photograph on the website, or submitted a photograph to the Mirror, and they published it. So yeah, it's not that difficult to get an article published with the Mirror. I'm not sure if it was in the papers or whether it was just on the website, and we were grateful for the confused as to what we were meant to be looking at in the first instance. But yeah, I don't know if you should play it really, and let people kind of in the chat room. If you're sat in the chat room now, give us what you think. Type to Lee what you think, because it's life changing. It's good.
Right, so let me try and play this for everybody. So right, and so I'm gonna get the sound on as well, so don't speak, you two, just for a moment. So yeah, this is the actual video, what's on YouTube, and you will hear a little child singing. So what you need to pay attention to is the bottom of the screen of the bed quilts, and at the end where there's meant to be that sound what repeats whatever it's saying. We will find out. Oh, there's the bed sheets. And there we go. You're so funny. It replays again. You're so funny. Oh, God. What does Chris V think of this so far?
It's pretty interesting. I really can't say if that is something or not. I mean, it could be, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is very interesting, that's for sure. I mean, I have no idea if that is something or if that's somebody in the bed.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
because you don't really see anybody.
Let me actually point out the child is actually in the bed as well.
Right. Okay. So.
And my question is, why is there A for the screen missing at both corners? That just don't make sense. That to me rings an alarm bell straight away. But I'm not saying this is fake. But I would probably assume to say that the papers maybe exaggerated what's happened. Have you ever encountered problems with the papers or newspapers at all?
I haven't, but you know what? They do like tend to embellish stories a lot, so you don't know if it's like if that's really what really happened, or are they just making it even more than what happened, or not what happened, just to make money off of that story.
Exactly. Yeah. What would you be like if you saw that happen in your own bedroom, where the quilt's lifting up?
Well, you know what? I'm pretty, like I said, I've been with the paranormal for a while. I love it. So, you know what? That really wouldn't faze me. I would just look and be like, okay, hello, glad you're here. As long as it isn't evil, I'm good.
Yep. Not quite sure. Yeah, that picture is just showing the quilt raising up, and if we go further down, I'm gonna submit. Is this video evidence of ghosts? In my opinion, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, and hopefully people will respect my opinion on this show, I'm gonna say no, because there's just no evidence there. And oh, look at this percentage.
Wow.
I actually wasn't expecting this. I actually thought more people would be saying yes or on the fence. What does the parapsychologist think?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the footage kind of speaks for itself, to be honest with you. It was.
You're muted, Chris. Beachy. I wonder if he's still there. Can you hear his sound, Chris V?
No, I can't. It looks like he's frozen.
Yeah, so we will just carry on. It should hopefully make it back to us.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you make of that percentage of the vote?
That is interesting, because I thought that maybe people would be like, oh yeah, that's a ghost. That's definitely a ghost. And I thought maybe the percentage would be a little higher on the yes, but to see it's a no, that's pretty interesting.
It is, yeah. So let's actually talk about yourself now. What actually got you started in the actual field?
Well, it's funny because as a child, and this is embarrassing, but it's okay. I had a imaginary friend, and till this day I have no idea if it was a ghost or what it was, but I had one, and I don't remember too much, and then with a lot of family deaths, I just got me more and more like, are they really still with us? Are they not? And then as I got older, and then I had another death, and I just wanted to know, are they here or not? And I never, I haven't stopped yet to know, are they here? Are they not? And I will continue. Even with people who say, like, everyone has different opinions on, the paranormal, and I respect everyone's opinion, whether it's skeptical or not. I respect it, and, I'm still going to do my thing regardless.
Yep, that's something what everybody should do, is to chase their own dreams, chase their own feelings. And welcome back, Beechy.
Oh, for goodness sake. I think that piece of footage is so bad that it's breaking the internet.
So
the internet is broken.
What was you actually saying before you got cut off?
I was just saying that you were talking about how you're surprised that actually people don't kind of subscribe to that piece of footage, and I think that it's kind of a testament to it kind of makes me happy, because I kind of think, well, people aren't perhaps buying into it. I don't want to say as stupid as I think, but it's kind of, that is obvious that isn't something paranormal to me personally, because it seems like someone's in the bed next to them. It's like when your little one comes in your room in the morning and is just messing about, and you'll give her your phone just to keep the status quo, just so she's not screaming. And I think that's just that, but it's kind of been, maybe the person that's posted it has forgotten that scenario happened, and that's been on the phone for a little while unnoticed, maybe. I mean, we're just speculating here, but I think I think speculation is probably a little bit better than turning around saying, yeah, that's definitely a ghost, demon, super duper uber spirit that is coming to kill us all. I don't think that's the case in this scenario at all.
No,
but,
I don't think so.
Maybe it is
as well.
I've got to cover both sides. Maybe that is a ghost.
So back to Chris V. So what's been your most frightening experience? Would you say to date?
Well, I think the one thing that I have gotten startled by was a full apparition in my home.
Right.
And I wasn't expecting it, because I had passed by one of the bedrooms in the house, and I saw a lady standing there. I mean, her back was turned to me, so I couldn't see her face, but she had really long grayish hair and a white nightgown on, and she was just standing there. And then I was like, you know how you get that, what the heck was that kind of thing, and then you like, yeah, no, and then you go back and it's like, but she was gone when I went to look back. But I know I saw her. I mean, I was like, what did I just see? It was like one of those. It kind of startled me, but I mean, it doesn't frighten me. So, I haven't had any encounters with anything bad yet. Thank God. But,
Yeah. Just before Beechy actually got cut off, you were talking about that you had an imaginary friend. Would you say that was imaginary, or would you say that was a spirit?
Well, considering I was really young, about 3 or 4, and they say that when you're young, you can, kids can see more than you think they can. And at the time, I think maybe it possibly was a spirit, because there was somebody who had died in that place I lived at. So, I could have been projecting it as a real person, because that's what I saw. No one knows. I don't know.
Right. So what would it make you? What would it take you for to believe in a paranormal occurrence? What would need to happen?
Well, there's a lot of different things. I mean, things moving. Hearing voices, which I've already heard. So I've seen things move. So that's what really made me into a real believer of it. Like, it could be really possible.
Right.
But then there are some things too that can't explain.
That's it. What would it take, Beechy, to be convinced? What do you want?
Well, that's a good question. Now, it's complete fantasy now. So let's think. I want to be served by a 3-course meal by a ghost waiter. If we're thinking outside the box, it's not going to happen. What's going to make me believe? Well, that's a good question. Not one that I think I can answer. I suppose seeing is believing for a lot of people, and I guess that I'm probably one of those people. Unfortunately, I don't think that I could probably. I mean, a lot of psychics and spiritualists say, well, you are a skeptic, so you're closing a lot of doors. You won't be able to feel the vibrations and the energy. And I'm thinking, well, I don't feel the vibrations and the energy on a good day when I'm particularly open. So I kind of think vibrations and energy isn't going to convince me. I think that a full-bodied apparition that is there in front of me, and there is no rational explanation. I'm not feverish. I haven't been ill. I haven't eaten something that I haven't eaten before. I haven't taken drugs, which I don't. I haven't drunk. All these different things. Once all those ticky boxes are filled as to maybe I'm not mentally maladjusted in any way, shape or form, I think I'd go to the doctors before I started believing in paranormal occurrences, to be perfectly honest with you. And that isn't because of the closed-mindedness, because I've been there, I wanted to be open, I've believed wholeheartedly in the paranormal. I believed that I could see auras and things like that. But the more books you read, and the more that you, excuse me, the more that you experience for yourself on investigations, and the more people that you talk to, you kind of become, I suppose, accustomed to what's going on. And I've met the decision that actually paranormal forces, if they do exist, are extremely rare, and I haven't been a party to that yet. There are things that have gone on investigations where I've thought, do you know what, that's a bit strange, but it's not on the beyond the realms of possibility that there was a perfectly reasonable explanation for it, and therefore it's an anomalous occurrence at best. So I think that taking that on board and using the sensible mindset of, well, let's explore all the avenues of investigation before we start coming up with a conclusion that that is actually a spooky ghost spirit person, then, you know, it's one of them. So what would I? It's not a question I can answer with a one, as you can tell.
Would you like to know what would it take to convince me, you two?
I sure would.
Right then. Not as much as what Mr. Beech wants. I don't want a 3-course meal. But what I do want, and if something happened to me personally, I wouldn't believe it. Like if something was to touch me, if something was to show itself to me, I'm not quite sure if I would believe it's actually happening at that precise moment, unless I had some type of measurement tools there, some type of camera there to actually witness what I'm seeing. So, for example, if I was to see a spirit of a man in a tunnel, I would want a camera behind me to see the exact same thing, because I would question myself, and it goes back to what we spoke about in the past. It depends on if you're using your own body as a tool of communication, then you really do need to think about what you've eaten, what you've been drinking, if you've had enough sleep, what your stress levels are, and etc. And so I would want some actual scientific backup to back up my personal experience, and I would say that's what would convince me if I had that. But yet again, you know, I've been to haunted places, and I've had a caterer meter go off. I've had the temperature meter go off.
Allegedly hauntedly.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I've had electrostatic meters go off. I've had basically, we had every type of meter go off at the exact same time, and I am still here today, a skeptic on the paranormal. And I mean, all these meters went off within like a split second, and they was all dotted around in different areas of the actual structure. So that was interesting. That did interest me. So what I have come to the conclusion of, and when I say this, I don't mean spirits. I don't mean ghosts. I believe that paranormal occurrences can happen. Now, people might be thinking, so that means that you believe in spirits. No, that is a complete different field. That is a complete step. Like, I believe that there's stuff out there what people can't explain it as what I would class as paranormal. But for me to actually say that an intelligent spirit is out there what can communicate on command, I would need a lot more evidence to actually, for me to say ghosts exist. So that is what my take is. What do you make of that, Chris V?
That's pretty interesting that you would say that, though. Because what, if you went on investigation and all your stuff is going off, what is doing it then? Just like, I was put in talking with someone else about, what if you go into a haunted location and you hear somebody, nobody's around, like people are like not even around you, but you hear someone call your name, then who's doing it? Who's saying something? Or you see something, but there's no one else there with you. What are you seeing? I mean, like you said, if you're not on drugs or anything and you're completely normal, what are you seeing? Because, I mean, I know I'm not on no drugs, never been, don't have any mental illnesses, so what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's tricky because if I did see something, I know for a fact that I don't do drugs and etc. I don't even drink,
Yeah.
So I actually know that
it's too expensive.
Yeah, isn't it? So yes, I don't go to the bar and buy spirits. But yeah, I just wouldn't trust myself. I just wouldn't trust myself with what I'm seeing because in the past I was blinded, I would say, because I used to believe in spirits when I first started this 10 years ago. I used to be holding a pendulum thinking I was talking to ghosts. That's how much I've changed through the actual field. So my next question would be to Chris V. Has your belief system changed throughout your time investigating and doing your radio show?
Well, I haven't been on any investigations, which I would like to be. I would like to go on a couple. But, just the experiences within my home, I've actually gotten more and more interested. Like certain things or occurrences that do go on here, I'm like, how is that happening? Or, because like I'm perfectly sane. It's happening when I'm awake too. I'm not sleeping. I'm not dreaming this. So I mean, but you know what? There are stuff that you sit there and you wonder, okay, why is this doing this? How is this doing this? And you want to debunk it all because you're like, no way. Could your mind be playing tricks on you? Who knows? But I always want to go into it like, let me make sure that this is really what's happening before I make any kind of conclusion. And like you said with psychics and all, I have talked to some and, got what I needed. And, yeah, it's definitely, whatever's happening is definitely happening. So,
Yep. What does Beech think of what Chris has just said? As it goes again. I just see his gob wide open.
Yeah, that's it.
That is a funny picture. So actually, while he's actually frozen, what type of people do you have on your show?
I have everybody on my show. Most of the time I just do it myself and I just do different topics and talk about different things. I've had a lot of people from, who are into the paranormal. I've interviewed, so, I like to do that, and I just like to do different topics, not just the paranormal, because not everybody is into it. Not everybody believes. So you want to make it where the non-believers can enjoy your show, and then the believers can enjoy it. So that's what I like to do, and just put in other different things, like what happened on the news, or just anything. Just
Yeah. I've actually looked at your YouTube channel, and I've actually been on your live shows from time to time, but sadly, it's always a bit too late for me in the UK. But I noticed that you've been using some ITC devices. What have you been using?
Well, I use the XTS box, which is X Paranormal's. He makes them. He's really cool. It's Martin. I'm actually a I can't even think of the word. I'm a beta tester for his stuff, and I love it. I love to do it. And I also have done the Phasma box, which he had just put out, and I love that one too. They're interesting.
He's back. You left.
What is going on?
You left.
Do you have spirits in your home?
This is something paranormal. I'm you.
I brought the paranormal.
Oh, they don't want me to talk about skeptic things. Actually, I do live on an old hospital site. I do live where a hospital used to be.
See?
I said, Beechy, you left. you actually left the chat like this. with your mouth wide open for ages.
I was like, OMG, this is going to die again. No, I don't know what's happening this time, but it's like error messages for days. I'm not even kidding you. I am not even kidding you. Like, I can't see you guys now. I can just see the bottom bar. It's ridiculous. But this hasn't happened before, so it must be a ghost. I might do a video of it, actually, and put it on YouTube, because this is going to get hits.
Yeah. Send it into the
paper.
You
would be the newspaper now.
I tell you what, I should give it to the mirror. Yeah, Lee. That's what I should do. Give it to the mirror.
So, what was you talking about? Because I completely forgot when you was talking. It cut off. I forgot what you were talking about.
What, me or?
Yes, you, Beechy.
Oh, I think I was ranting and raving about something. That's usually what I'm doing, but I can't remember what it was exactly. I had to re-log on and everything. Oh, I don't know. I'll watch it back and think. I should have finished my sentence really before I crashed, but yeah. I think it was. What did I think? What was V saying? What V was saying? And I think that. She raises a good point. I think that we've reached a point where science, we're experiencing stuff that we aren't happy with the explanation that science has come up with. So I think that it's safe to say that science hasn't come up with an explanation we're happy with. I think that's obvious. But actually, has science come up with an explanation for what is occurring? I don't know. I don't think it has yet. There's plenty of psychological explanations that would account why children have imaginary friends, to do with developmental psychology, and why people think that they may see things through some sort of suggestion, or say if someone's arty or that they're quite creative, then those people are more susceptible to experiencing what they think to be something that's paranormal. So maybe it's something like that, but we can only speculate because we weren't there at the time. So you can speak to a psychic and they'll say you have had a paranormal experience, and then you can speak to someone like me who will give you an explanation of what it could be, but then you're still making your own mind up. We're all adults, unless you're a child watching this, then you're not an adult, but we're all adults here, so then you can make up your own mind.
Yep. So Chris V were just talking about that on her show. She does live ITC sessions with some devices, which I don't think you've actually seen before, Chris, but I might be wrong. So we're gonna jump to Chris V, and we're gonna just ask her to explain what the devices do.
Well, they you can talk to spirits, ghosts, entities, whatever wants to come through. You can ask questions, and usually you will get a good response. You will get a very good or intelligent answer. Sometimes you don't know what they're talking about, but most of the time you will hear different things, and you're like, okay, and you want their name and, how they passed, a date, an age, and they will throw it out there most of the time. Sometimes it's a little hard, you don't get what you want, but, they're pretty cool.
Yep. So, can you just repeat the names of the devices just for Chris's sake?
Yeah, one is the XTS Spirit Box, the other is the Phasma Box.
Have you ever heard of them, Beechy? He's froze.
Oh, he froze again.
He's not having a good day.
No,
he's gonna
he
end
just
up
isn't.
soon. Yeah. So do the ITC devices scan through radio stations? How do they actually work? Are you aware or not?
No, I'm not really aware of some of them. So no, some do have the radio, come through radio stations. Others,
Yeah. What did you say the name of the person who invented it? Who made it?
Martin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. There's
Martin.
people in the chat. They know.
Yeah.
In the chat, they might know. Martin. Yeah. And he. I mean, I'll give you the website and everything. I'm gonna link it down below. He's very He's very intelligent. He's very it's all the two boxes I have, he's very talented. He's very nice. I can't say enough about him. I can't say enough about his stuff. But my thing is, when you do use them, I want to know, how is it working?
That's what I want to know.
How is this going on? Is it the spirits are talking through your computer into the boxes? How is this working? That's one thing that I have been questioning lately.
For me, because I have not actually used them devices what you're talking about, so I'm going to talk about devices what I have used, which is just normal Frank's boxes, and basically these scan through radio stations, and it's believed that the spirits are meant to put words through the radio scramble and produce it out through your spirit talking Frank's box, whatever you want to call it. And but there is different types of apps and software out there which is different. It's basically pre-recorded words chopped up, so you're not actually getting full words. It's like a split second of an actual word, and basically it's chopped up and it's just mixed up. And so in theory there should be no full words there. There should be no sentences there because they've chopped it up into like small segments, but that's just their say. I've not actually looked into it, so I'm not actually sure if that's true or not, and I am not going to comment if that's true or not. But I know that there's people out there who claim that they have looked into the devices and they find out that it's true that there is no full sentences there. So if I was to use one of them and something was to come through which was clear and something which made sense, I would find it interesting, but I wouldn't believe at that precise moment. I would then ask another question and hope to get another response which would coincide with what I'm talking about. And then I still would not be 100% convinced. 3 times lucky. That's what I always want. I want 3 responses on command. If that was to happen, then I would probably say it could be a paranormal experience, but that's a big could be. I'm not 100% sure. about it. Welcome back, Beechy.
I don't know what's going on. I might go in a bit. It's because I think that Google is really having a wobbly today. I don't know why.
What were you saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh?
What was your
what's going on with your stuff?
Oh, it really doesn't want me to talk about what B was saying, so I'm not going to comment on that and go on to something else, because I'm not superstitious, but it doesn't want me to say it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, no, it's bad. I've never had a problem before, but yeah. So what were we talking about, Lee? Sorry.
What you have missed is that we've been talking about Frank's boxes, but this is not actually a Frank's box. What we're actually talking about, I was talking about a Frank's box, but Chris V was talking about an ITC device, which is a similar setting to a Frank's box.
Right.
Which it doesn't use radio signals. It uses chopped up words into a word bank. So we've actually done a show about this before, I believe, Beechy, and basically these people claim that there is no full words in the word bank. It's like small chopped up letters and etc. So it's jumbled. So if you want to get a response,
so it's like the phonemes of a word to.
Yeah. So with actually, I want to ask you this question, Beechy. If you was using an ITC device,
quick before I go.
Yeah. What would make it interesting for you to make you think there's something strange happening?
For something anomalous to happen, or something that I would deem as strange, not necessarily mean that it's a ghost that's doing it, is that if I go to somewhere that's underground where there wouldn't be a signal, that I'd actually get a hit off it. Alternatively, that it comes out with cognitive sentences that you can understand and that are relevant and that are responsive to what you're asking. That would be great. But as it is, we don't get any of that, and that we just get gobbledygook come through there, and words that don't usually associate with what is occurring around you. Usually, generally.
Nice. Well, in the chat room, Nikki Paranormal, if you remember that person, Beechy, from Live Paranormal, she does the radio show over there, and she has just commented saying that the ITC devices what Martin makes are not made with full sentences and full words, so if you do get stuff out of that, it would be more credible, maybe, than an actual Frank's box what scans radio stations. Like, if someone got a Frank's box site in front of me, I just want to chuck it through a window. That's how they that is how they make me feel, and I'm being serious. And but knowing that these devices have small snippets of words which don't make full words, that makes it a bit more better for me as a skeptic. But yet again, I would want to see the actual word bank, which I'm pretty sure if people want to, they can, I assume, because Nikki Paranormal knows. So yeah. So what do you make of the device what you have been using then, Chris V?
I like it. I have gotten some good stuff out of it. And when I do my shows, a lot of people have, heard their name or heard a loved one come through, and, I think that the stuff he makes is really good, and I do recommend people going and purchasing his, even a skeptic, go purchase and see for yourself. You'll get some good stuff, and you'll probably be amazed.
Yeah, so. I would say that I think every piece of tool is worth, in a theory, investing in. I know Beechy might not agree with that. I'm pretty sure that he would think that you need to focus on your sound and maybe your environmental stuff. But if something claims to detect spirits, then I assume it's worth looking into to actually investigate its claims. But Nikki has just said in the chat room, have you ever used a PSB 7 or a PSB 11, Chris V?
No.
No.
I haven't.
Beechy? He's froze.
Uh-oh.
I've actually... Oh, there, he's here. Have you used one, Beechy?
I have. We do have a
7.
PSB 11, and we have the 7. Sorry, and they're the smaller ones. I think the 11s are the bigger ones. I think, if I've got that right.
Yeah.
I've used both of them. I've used both of them. I think they're just a radio scanner with that can hop channels. Is my understanding. So. Are they is that paranormal? Well, no, it's not. Not unless you get something that's clear and cognitive, and it's done on. We're really poor cognitive statisticians as human beings. So if we hear a word that has the same phonemes as a word that we recognise or that we're wanting to hear, then we're going to associate that in some way, shape, or form to be paranormal. Which is just using our psychological top-down theory. That is what I'm expecting to happen, and it happens, therefore it's happening and is real. When actually there is quite a high mean chance expectation that what you attribute to this reply would be paranormal. So it could be, say, that, like in the intro, give me who's the name of the person that's presenting the show, and it'll go E or something, or she or we, and because you're hearing that E sound, you're immediately associating, well, Jesus, that says Lee, when actually it's not. But because you're thinking you want to hear Lee, that suggestion is Lee. And I think that there's a lot of that happens with the spirit boxes and what have you. So yeah, I'm very, very, as you can tell, skeptical of them. I think that if you're in an environment whereby you're not likely to get a result with them, and you get one, then again that's interesting, but not proof that the paranormal exists, or that you're having communication with a ghost.
So let's kind of put you on the spot. You've got to choose between a PSB 7/11 or a new ITC device which has snippets. Which would you choose and why? Does it seem like it's froze again?
Yeah.
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 Maybe we will scrap that question. So, yeah. So what type of responses?
I should be here because.
Oh, there he is.
He's here. Is here. Do you want to carry on with what you were saying? If the sound's working.
I was going to say I could see you all through that. I could see you all through that thing. You're like, he's gone. No, I'm still here. I'm still here. But about that, what one would I choose if I had to choose? If you put a gun to my.
Uh-oh.
It really don't want him to talk and give his answers, does it?
It really doesn't. There's someone there.
I wonder if this is paranormal. Let's see what the chat room thinks. Say yes for paranormal, no for not paranormal. Oh dear me. So yeah, what type of responses have you been getting then? Like, what's been the most convincing response with the Phasma box or Pasma box, however you pronounce it?
Phasma. He said no. I get a lot of different responses. Depends on who's in my chat room. If they're looking for a family member, sometimes I'll get, they will get what they're looking for, or they will get a response to their question, and they're, very happy, And with the Phasma box, most of the time it's very clear. You can hear very clear what someone's saying. So, you know, if you're looking to have, you know, a family member come through and there's something that you ask and they come back with a response for you, then how do you explain that? You really can't, because it's your family member saying what you would know. So, you know, you have to really understand that too, and take that into consideration. That being skeptical or not, if a family member is really saying, you know, if you say a question and that person, you know, comes back at you, yeah, you really can't explain that.
Do you want to reattempt with what you're talking about, Beech?
Can you actually hear me this time? Because
Yeah.
I was here for all of that.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Right, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to attempt. Go on to the next thing.
Choose fastly. 10 seconds, choose.
I'm not even gonna
ITC
attempt
or
it.
PSB 7 or 8. I mean, 11.
Oh,
10, 9,
they're all
8,
bad. They're
7,
all bad. What are you doing to me?
5,
They're all bad.
4,
Um,
3, 2.
the ghost.
One.
I don't know. The ghost box. The ghost box. BSB.
What? Why?
Well, yeah. Well, because you I've got to pick one. They're all bad, and you've got a gun to my head, so I don't want my brains blown out of my head, even if it is metaphorical. Yeah, I think that you could probably have some fun with that, but no, it's all bad. Just stay away from all of them. Just stay away from all. I'd take it, go back home, and then bin it. So, yeah, as soon as the risk has been negated.
Oh, you don't really mean that though, don't you?
Mm-mm. No, he doesn't.
Oh, I do actually really mean it, yeah.
How could you really mean it? Come on. I mean, give it a try. You don't know what you could get. Just saying, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, if I give that a try, it's going to do the same as what every other device has done with every other... With the a device with the prefix of ghost might as well have the prefix of disappointment attached to it, because it is not worth it. Just stay away. Get environmental monitoring devices. Get something credible that actually...
It's gone.
Before. That doesn't tell you that a ghost is near you. It tells you wearing cheap clothing. So just bin it or put it in a room where you're not there.
What was your last investigation, Beech?
We'll move on because I'm just ranting now.
Yeah.
You what?
I don't know. We have lost the plot. We have no idea what we're talking about. We don't know what the show's about no more. Yeah.
See?
So, what was we talking about? We was talking about...
We're having a bit of a mare right now.
Yeah. So, Chris V, would you recommend people to buy them apps, that software, that piece of software?
Yes. I would. Give it a try. You know? See what you can get out of it. You know, everyone gets different things, and a lot of people have been happy with the stuff that they do get from it. You know, like I said, even skeptics, just give it a try. Don't dismiss it entirely there.
Don't be like Beechy.
Yeah, don't say it's not good if you didn't try it.
What?
Come on, you have to try it. You can't just...
Well, I can just imagine what it's going to be like. It's going to be there, me, cold, stuck in a dark room, trying to figure out how this new piece of equipment works, and then it not work. That is usually how it rolls.
It does work. That's the thing. It does work. So.
Yeah, I'm sure, it works, but it's like random work.
Don't dismiss it entirely until you try it. You know.
Yeah, Beech.
Especially
you're right. I should try
really good. It's really good. Trust me, it's really good.
I think it's about time someone put you in your place.
And they haven't paid you to say that.
Nope. Nope.
They've not paid you to say that, Chris. No.
No.
Okay.
I'll say it. Go try it. Really. You really like it.
Right then, let's change the topic. Be for all lunatics.
Box.
Right. So, you've actually said that you've not been on an investigation. Why exactly not? Have you thought about it a lot?
Yeah. I would like to, but there's really not too many here in Miami, Florida, to go and do. I mean, I'm not even with I'm not with anyone who does do them, so
yeah.
So,
have you actually searched about for your local teams?
Yeah, and they're pretty. Well, I mean, there are some in Florida, but they're like way up, like 5 hours away, and yeah, no. But even like the friends I've met, like they can come down. I would love to do something, with the friends that I have already met here that do go out and do investigations, because me being a new person into it, I would like to learn from. There's so many people that I'm friends with that I really, I like them as really good friends, and I really want to learn from them, because they're really good at what they do. I have to say, they're really good at what they do. So it'd be nice to learn from people who know what they're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking through chat to see if there's any questions. There's tons of messages, I just can't read them. So, like, on your radio show, have you, like, is that what you present live doing ITC sessions?
Sometimes. Just depends. I won't do, like, on my show, if I'm talking about a topic, I won't do one, but I will do a special show for people who do requests, like, oh, do an ITC session, or, so I will, take a day, a night, and I will do that the whole time for, for a show that they want for ITC. Yes, I will do that. I haven't done one in a while, which I might do soon.
So what do you make of the paranormal community as such at the moment? Do you follow what's going off in the community, or do you stay just with yourself and don't really take notes?
Well, I used to follow what was going on. I tend to stay away. I do keep to myself most of the time now, because of all the stuff that's been going on with the community. I'd rather just not be around it. I have met some good people, and I stick with them. They know who they are. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much, I do my radio shows, and that's pretty much it. I have a life outside of this too. So,
That's it, yeah. I'm not quite sure if Beech is actually froze or not. Just say something, Beech, if you're there. Beechy? Eyes here.
Hello.
Yeah. What do you make of the paranormal community throughout your period of investigating?
In the main, it's been pretty good. I think that people have like secret agendas and stuff like that, so you can get a little bit of bitchiness and what have you, especially within the groups that take the public out, because there's an ulterior motive there. There's money and what have you. So there's a little bit of bitchiness from some people. Just like in everyday life, that's what you get, I suppose. Not everybody's going to agree, and I think that and the main people are great. People are great in Norfolk and East Anglia, and there are plenty of groups to go with. So Chris, if if you're struggling to find a group in where you are, then just move to the UK because there's plenty over here. You can't move for groups. So yeah, come over here and get yourself affiliated with a group because there's plenty, too many. But yeah. I mean, it's a good thing in one respect because people get a chance to go out, but on investigations. But actually, there's so many people that it's kind of the way in which people investigate is a bit tainted sometimes. If they're not doing it in the right way, then that is the way that it kind of is a negative thing because it perpetuates itself. If you talk badly, then you're only going to be doing bad things when you investigate. But if you talk well, then you're going to go out and do good things. So, but yeah, in the main, it's great here. No problems.
On everyone's screen now is yet again. We've talked about this in the past. Ghost Ark. It is open for pre-orders, and yet again we are not getting paid for showing this. It's just something which is in the news and we find a bit interesting, so we are going to talk about it. Beechy, what is this device?
This is a fantastic, sexy-looking piece of equipment called Ghost Ark, and it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of all of your paranormal equipment. So if you're like me and you take a load of equipment out with you on an investigation and you're dropping stuff and you're breaking stuff and it's cost a couple of £100 everything, and you're dropping it all over the shop, then actually this is probably the thing for you because it encompasses EMF, EVB recording, temperature gauges. It's got the lot. Oh, you've got it in front of you there. So you got the Ghost Box, your EVP, Ghost Box, not so interested in, EVP, sound trap, EMF meter, temperature, pressure, and data analysis. So, you know, you've got quite a lot there in one device, and I think it's £130. I think it's going out for at the moment for pre-orders.
Yeah, it's 200.
So it's quite good value for money so far.
Yeah.
So it's good value for money, and I think that any investigation worth their salt should invest because it's great. It looks great. Anyway.
Yeah, I must admit I will be definitely getting one of these when it comes out because it's like you've just said. It's every piece of equipment in one unit. You'll be able to have your hands free at all times, and basically it's just an investigator's dream, really. I would probably use everything on this device, to be honest, even the Ghost Box, just to give it a try, because I will always give things a try. What would you
make sure you use protection, Lee?
Oh yeah, don't start that. This is not that type of show. So with this device, Chris V, what would you actually be interested in actually using?
I don't know. I mean, this doesn't really interest me. I mean, it looks like a whole bunch of, I would just rather use, the whatever, old-fashioned stuff that's going to get me really good evidence, not this kind of, stuff. But it does look interesting. How much is it, actually?
$200.
Oh, yeah, no. No. See right there? I wouldn't even, no.
Why?
No thanks.
Why?
That's too much money. I mean, okay. I'll give it to you that there are people who can afford it, but for those that can't, no.
Yeah.
There's,
for somebody, well, for a team or for people just starting, it will be a massive investment, and it might be an investment what they don't get more enjoyment. Yo, what? What did you say?
I disagree with that because £130. I disagree with that because £130 for a piece of investigative equipment, considering how many pieces of evidence that potentially could capture, I think that I've spent £130 on one piece of equipment, So for all of those, it seems like money well spent and value for money, to be honest. I'd highly recommend it, and you don't need all of the different.
It's gone.
I mean, I can see where it's useful, to those
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are really into it, but I mean,
I get what you're saying. It would probably look like a complicated tool. Like there's loads of different things you can mess about with, and if like there'll be a lot of people out there who aren't technologically, who don't understand stuff like like all this fancy stuff. So they'll be like, "What is this for? What does this do? What is that for?" And I respect that. I think before buying any piece of equipment, people need to do their research on what they're purchasing. So when it comes to this piece of equipment, people need to research on electromagnetic fields. People need to research on how to capture EVPs. People also need to research what the ghost box is. Soundtrap, I have no idea what that does. So I'd need to do my research on that. But for me personally, I actually would buy this because I'm into that type of stuff, which I can understand it won't be everyone's cup of tea. So what would be so if you was to go on an investigation, what would be the piece of equipment what you would purchase and take with you?
Well, I would probably take my computer because, of course, my Phasma box is on there. So going to an investigation, I would like to know how well that would work in other places rather than just my home. I would take, of course, flashlight, K2 meter, a recorder, get EVPs, I would probably, especially get something that would make me know that something was really in that specific place, That's what you really want to know is if there is a spirit there, you want to know if it's really a spirit or not. So you want the best communication of equipment they have to do that. I don't know if that, what you just put up would be. I mean, I don't know anybody who has it yet or whatever.
Yeah, it's
but
not out yet.
I would like to see it first in order for me to want to really be like, oh yeah, I'm going to purchase that.
I'm going to make a prediction on the show live. I predict that piece of equipment what I showed you will be about a very lot. I've actually looked on their website and I've watched some videos, and with the Frank's Box session, what they've put up there, it seems to give yet again good responses as with other pieces of equipment would do. But the main thing what interests me about that is that it's just every piece of equipment in one. That's the main thing what
it's in one, right?
Yeah, that's the main thing what draws me to it, personally. But yeah, so do you get people send you pictures at all, like ghost pictures, videos, and etc. for to look at?
Well, they do. Friends do. Not for the show, no. I'm hoping people will submit photos to me so I could, present them on my show. No one has done that yet. But I have seen friends' pictures and, investigation pictures and, videos, and it's pretty, what people capture is pretty interesting.
Yeah. What do you make of YouTube, of the paranormal field on YouTube? Do you do much searching on YouTube?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do different searches, not just paranormal, but, stuff that I have seen, like you say, you don't know if it's really real or not, because that person's behind the camera, so, what did they set up before? Those are the kind of things that you do have to, look at.
Yep. Chris is back. I wonder if he's actually here or not, though.
I don't know.
I just see his picture. Are you there, Beechy? Nope. Let's give him time.
Yeah, I'm just like everyone out there. I don't know, if what I am seeing is real. I don't know. Nobody knows. And I think, like, in time, people, with all the things that are developing with science and everything, I think eventually, and this is my own opinion, I don't know, I'm just going by what I feel, that I think that eventually we could get the answers we are definitely searching for. I believe that, eventually. For all alive still, I think we will get the answers.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
It's actually interesting that what you've just actually brought up, because before the show someone asked me a question and they said, I can't exactly remember how they worded it, but in a nutshell they said, do you think science will eventually ever prove or disprove ghosts? And my response to that was, I don't know. I seriously do not know that answer.
I don't know either.
What does Beechy think? Nope. Yep, nope.
Like,
His
in
eyes
the
are moving.
window of like.
Yep. It's not having a good day.
Yeah. You know what I say to that? Anything is possible.
Exactly.
Anything is possible.
Exactly. But more on the actual topic, I do think the reason why we're not going to find evidence. Well, I'm losing my mind here because I'm looking at Chris's screen. But yeah, I think the main reason why we're not going to find out that answer, and why people like ourselves can't answer that question, would be because the paranormal field is constantly changing. And so is the science revolving it. Like, just when we get to a point, some new piece of equipment comes out which has got some type of flaws, which makes the skeptics go, no. And it will constantly keep on going in that circle. That's my view. That's what I think might happen. Chris has just said that he's going to have to call it a night. His computer's completely messing up, so he thanks everybody who has been in the chat room and watching live on the websites. Poor Beechy. So yeah, what were we talking about?
We were talking about if it's possible that we will get answers. Eventually. Like I said, anything's possible. You don't know.
Yeah.
Could be no. Could be yes. We have to wait and see.
There's definitely a chance we will find out that answer. But for me to give a specific answer on that question, I just really can't say yes or no. Cause,
yeah, that's why I said anything's possible. You have to wait. But I think with so many people, doing their investigations and being so passionate about it, they'll find their own answers. And what they believe is what they believe. If they believe that it is so, then okay. I am not somebody who can sit here and say to them, well, that's not what you're seeing. Or, if they want to believe that's what they got, then cool. That's what you got. Because I believe it. I believe in, spirits. I believe they are trying to communicate, because we do grieve after a loved one has passed, and they're just trying to let you know that they are there. And I really believe that they are doing that.
Yep. Nikki Paranormal says, what is on your top bucket list of places to investigate if you ever get the chance?
Oh, well, I like all the asylums, like Waverly Hills, or, one of those. There is one place down here that I really want to do, but I would really like to get someone like Nikki, or, Upstate Supernatural, one of them, friends of mine, to come down, and because the one of the hotels here is really, the Biltmore Hotel is very haunted, and I would like to do that with somebody who actually knows what they're doing instead of me just trying to do it, with, other people that I don't know. At least those, I know them, and I know that they've been, doing it for a while, and it would be nice to learn from them to do investigation or something here, or, but that place is pretty haunted, and I would like to check that out, so, but I would like to do it with friends, not, somebody I don't know.
Yep. Also, another question. What are some of the famous haunted places in Florida? I'm guessing that's where you're from.
Yes, I'm from Miami, Florida. There's the Biltmore Hotel. There is the St. Augustine Lighthouse, which is in St. Augustine, which is about 4 or 5 hours away. That I know. There's a couple of, I'm sure B&Bs. There's actually some place here that's not even far. It's a coral castle. Now it's made out of oil coral. And the guy who built it, they don't know, where he got all the stuff to build a lot of it from, because it's really interesting. It's all open. It's not even like, a closed castle. It's all open. And it's pretty neat. And they say that there's a lot of stuff that goes on over there too, light anomalies and all kinds of stuff. So that'd be interesting to check out too.
What's your views on light anomalies? What do you believe they are?
I don't know. I mean, I see them in my home a lot. I have no idea. I mean, some would say, if they are skeptic, they'd probably look at you like you are crazy and think that there's something wrong with your eyes or your vision. But they are light anomalies. They are little balls of light that I do see in here. So I can't tell you what they are. I don't know. No idea.
So you see balls of light with your own naked eye? Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is this in daytime, nighttime?
Both.
A question for you then. Have you got a light source at all in the room, like a light or like any type of visible light?
No.
No. Wow.
No.
That's a bit strange then, because to see was what people call as spirit orbs. You need some type of a light to see them. For example, a camcorder shoots out infrared light, which bounces off the dust, flies, insects, moisture, glass reflections.
No, and you know what? No, most of the time I'm, especially at night, I sit here in the complete darkness, just my computer screen, and you would think you would see them right by your computer screen. No, I see them over my computer screen. Therefore, there is no light source coming through any of the windows or anything. So
yes, so that's interesting, because I've seen orbs with my own eyes and stuff before, and it's not really interested me, because I've had a light source there, like I've had a light on and I could just see it. You know, and I personally thought it was a fly, a morpho, etc. But if it's in complete, if you're seeing it in a spot where there's no light, then that's very interesting.
No light, and it's not even orbs. It's just little balls of light, and they'll just pass through, or and I'll catch it, and I'm like, oh wow! Like last night, I saw 3 of them.
So are you more open to believing that they are spirits then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'd want you to try out one day? If you ever see them, like again, try and talk to them and try to ask questions and try to ask them to move to certain directions to get a response. Like I've always said that they don't interest me that much, but if I was to see an orb on a camcorder, for example, and I was there live watching it, the only way it would interest me is if it was intelligent. It is if I could talk to it and it would give a response. Like if I say, can you do a shape of a circle? Can you move to the left? Can you move to the right? If it was to physically respond to commands, then I would probably say that would be classed as paranormal. I won't be fully convinced it was a spirit at that stage, but I would be saying this is something what we need to be looking into.
Yeah, I can try to do that, and I'll let you know. But most of the time when I see them, it's like a split second, and I'm like, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So, actually, my sister has seen one in the kitchen once, and it was funny because she was like, that she says, I just saw and then she just completely couldn't say what she was gonna say. I said ball of light, and she's like, yeah, how did you know? I said, because I see them all the time. I see them at night, I see them during the day, and it's pretty interesting.
Have you ever heard voice phenomena, like a spirit talking to you all?
Yes, I have heard early in the morning. I'll be sleeping and wake up, and I'm waking up to the sound of, and I'm fully awake, conscious, just so people aren't like, well, you were sleeping, so how do you? I was fully awake. I was looking around the room. I heard hello, and I went out to the kitchen, dining room area, living room. No one's there. Everyone's still asleep. I looked out the window just to make sure there was no one outside, no one out there. I've heard somebody whisper my name in my ear. So yes, I have heard a lot of things.
Interesting. So what have you got planned up next? Like what are your future endeavors? Like what do you want to do in the future?
Well, I do want to have my radio show to be very successful. I do enjoy doing that. And I want to go on at least one investigation. That's the one thing I really want to do. And I'm pretty much focused on my radio show as of now. So nothing else really. I'm very busy with that, and that's really about it. That's all I really concentrate on, and then just life outside of that as well. So
that's cool. Obviously, we are streaming live on different platforms. We're streaming live on Paranormal Magazine, Project Reveal, and etc. So would you like to plug to them how to find your YouTube radio station?
Well, they can go to YouTube and see my link. I'll have to give you my link for that. I'm not.
I'll put it in the description after the show.
I also have a Facebook page, so they can find me on that, and I can give you that as well. Google Plus community, I have that as well. So I will give them to you, so that everybody can find me. They want to.
Yep. So after the show, if the people watching this, just click onto the YouTube link, and the links will be in the description after the show. So when's your next radio show?
My next one is Monday at 9, and trying to do a question and answer. So people who are new and stumbled into it can know more about who I am. Get to know me kind of thing. So, if they haven't gotten to know me now, but so they can get to know me while they come in the chat room and listen. So that's what I'm doing next. Yeah.
That's good. So I'm just about ready to call it a night, to be honest. We've gone way over the...
Sounds good.
We've gone way over the 1 hour slot.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Hopefully we can have you back on in the future to see how your views have changed and what's happened from now until then.
That would be awesome, and thank you so much for having me. I really, really enjoyed myself.
No problem. I hope we haven't been too nasty on you, because
no. No, not at all. Nope.
We tried to make it fun.
You guys are awesome.
So thank you for watching on YouTube. You've been an absolute pleasure. Listening to you chat has been just hilarious. And thank you for watching on projectreveal.com, on Paranormal magazine.com, paranormaldatabase.com, Get Scared TV, Broadband TV, and Viso. So we will be back Sunday with Three Girls in the Dark with guest host Sophie Temperilli. You don't want to miss that show. And yet again, thank you to Chris V.
Thank you.
And thank you to everybody watching. Good night.
Good night.